And all of that is put together in just one unit of shares that could be as low as 50 kobo because it's a unit trust or a mutual fund. You could also have a situation where the thing is in real estate investment trust. In that instance, you have your investment in a group of properties in different locations of the country as young people. Part of the house may be in Abuja, some in Kano, some in, okay, and that is basically one of the things that the mutual fund, unit trust, or REIT provides you an opportunity. And like I said, rather than buying one share, for instance, in a company, like we mentioned at the end of trading today, we have a situation where NEM is selling for 2 naira plus, but you could have a portfolio in terms of REIT, or sorry, in terms of mutual fund that includes NEM, and yet you are paying just 50 or 60 kobo. So in terms of cost, young persons will probably want to start their investment build up from having to look at unit trust or mutual fund or REIT, although a few of the REITs are a little more expensive. What that also gives you is that you are diversifying your risk because like I mentioned, you have all the items put in one. Just like a man who went into a cafeteria and is not able to afford whole chicken, you could have a situation where he has assorted small of chicken, small of the liver, and all of that is also put. Or you want to buy, you don't have money to buy any of those, you can then say, okay, give me a pack. The pack will have samosa, you have small chop, you have snail, you have all of it, and yet at a price. So it also gives diversification in addition to the low cost. But much more importantly is that that portfolio itself, which is in the unit trust, is built by a professional. And the reason that the professional angle is important is that that is his full-time job. As an investor, you don't have all the opportunity to be able to look at all the companies on the market, and then that then becomes a disadvantage. But if you have a situation where you are paying professional fee, because by the way, the unit trust, mutual fund, or REITs charge the portfolio some professional fee in terms of having to provide advice. So you benefit from their experiences, you benefit in terms of cost, you benefit in terms of risk management, and all of that basically help to make your life better as to who you are as an investor. But please note, that is also not to say that we haven't had REITs that haven't done too well. But long term, you are better off with a well-managed REIT with better return as well, because one of the things that REIT also provides you, REITs are expected to be built in such a manner that whatever weather, they make profits. But let's also mention that even the REIT could also have a combination of money market instruments when money market instrument was juicy, and equity, or even within the equity you could also have some percentage of some sector and some percentage of money market. Or when the market, when the mutual fund is also 100% money market, it also is placed in such a manner that the size of risk is not again too concentrated. So let's begin to enjoin or encourage our young persons that even with very small sum of money, they can begin to approach the market with as low as 1,000, 2,000 naira, which is what a number of them will probably spend in 2 weeks in terms of recharge. So let's begin to encourage them in terms of recharge. But one of the things that we'll be doing in the course of the program, when it comes to corporate results, we have also decided to look at 2 companies talking about REITs, and then you begin to understand how this work in terms of REITs. But let's take a break now, and after the break we'll come to corporate results, and in corporate results again we'll do further explanation. Please stay tuned.
should revolve around you. That's why we've created a banking system that does just that. A system where you're constantly met at your point of need, and where we treat you like you're the only one that matters. Sterling Bank, the one customer bank.
My family is about to have the best miyan taushe they have ever tasted. How do I know? My new Dangote seasoning cube brings out the best flavor.
The new Dangote seasoning is just perfect for my miyan kubewa. The aroma and the flavor is simply amazing.
Mesuya, why is suya too sweet like this?
Since the time I dey use am for Dangote seasoning, I dey put am for my yaji. Then it make my suya correct, kuma it dey on point. That is why I see people that they even come buy this suya all the time.
Mesuya, give me 200 naira.
The one where you chew, I be done pass 200 naira, pa.
Introducing the new Dangote seasoning to give every meal that rich, distinct taste and flavor that your whole family will love.
To the left, and to
The new Dangote seasoning cube is the real deal. Try it today.
You're welcome back. And if you're just joining us, the program is Stock and Shares. Looking at corporate results, like we mentioned earlier, we have decided to look at two real estate instruments. And interestingly, the first one that we'll be looking at happens to be SFS Real Estate Investment Trust. This used to be Sky Shelter. Interestingly, for 12 months ended June 2019 as against June 2020. First, you notice that the total income climbed from 216 to 231 million. But the net income, which is like profit after tax for a manufacturing concern or a bank or service, moved from 152.6 million to 167.3 million. And the unit, what you ordinarily will refer to as earnings per share in manufacturing or in banking or in any other sector or insurance. In the case of REIT, this is net income per unit. It was standing at 7 naira 60 kobo at the end of June 2019 as against 8 naira 40 kobo at the end of June 2020. The company in 2019 paid what you refer to as dividend of 7 naira 30 kobo. Yes, 7 naira 30 kobo. But for REIT is described as distribution per unit. And in 2020, the dividend that was paid was 7 naira. And interestingly, in 2017, the company, or the REIT rather, yes, it's a company, paid a dividend of 8 naira, coming from 7 naira in 2016. In 2018, they paid a dividend of 7 naira 30 kobo. But it must also be noted that the trading price at the end of the market today was 69 naira 30 kobo. So this is the high end of what we call assorted, and it has achieved the high of 76 naira 95 kobo in the last 52 weeks. But this REIT, as is indicated, real estate, means that it has a couple of properties put together, and those properties are in different locations and very many times in different sizes and in different structure. So rent is earned in some instances, and in some instances where they have good value, sales are also made of the properties, and everything is put together, and it's from there that the issue of profit then emanates, and from there as well the issue of dividend also come. But for the second company, again, another real estate investment trust company, happens to be Union Homes. Union Homes, for 12 months ended 2019, the total income was 544 million, as against 584 million by 2020. In terms of net income, it was 355 million 12 months ended June 2019, as against 388 million by the same period in 2020. Net income per unit, which is the earnings per share, was standing at 188 kobo in 2019, as against 206 kobo in 2020. The company in 2019 shared dividend per share, which is described as distribution per unit of 1 naira 75 kobo. The same amount was distributed in 2020. But what is also of note is that in 2017, the company with a earnings of 1 naira 18 kobo, this distributes 75 kobo, while in 2018, with an earnings of 193, it also did distribute 75 kobo. Don't also forget that the share price of the company currently is 40 naira 65 kobo, having achieved a high of 40 naira 70 kobo. Again, just like with CFS, what the company also does is basically an aggregation of properties in different locations in Lagos, Abuja, Ibadan, and all of that is put into a basket. That is why it is called assorted. And that from that basket, rent is earned, sales are made in terms of profit, in terms of the house, and where they also find a house that is also of higher value and a good price, they also buy. So it's basically dealing with real estate, and that's why the name Real Estate Investment Trust came about. Don't also forget, this is another form of mutual fund, but mutual fund or unit trust is dealing with equity, in some instances with money market instruments, while REIT is dealing with property. It's also on that note that we'll be taking another break, and when we do return after the break, we'll be sharing with you the company of the week.
There is a reason Africa is called the new frontier. What was once potential is now an opportunity ready to be seized. Once revered for our resources, today's wealth lies in our people. People who build the cities that shape the future. People who know an idea in one place means business in another. A generation for whom technology means there are no borders, no boundaries. We are the new lions in a brave new world, kings of the urban jungle. And there's a bank that puts the world in our pocket and the future in our hands. UBA, Africa's global bank.
Cussons Baby Gift Pack.
Wow, what a nice gift. I am definitely getting this next time.
Cussons Baby Gift Pack. A carefully selected range of safe baby products with natural goodness. Used for decades by millions of moms across Africa to take care of the baby's delicate skin. Cussons Baby. The gift that keeps on giving.
You're welcome back. And if you're just joining us, the program is Stock and Shares. On the note of the company of the week, it happens to be eTranzact International PLC. Again, for the benefit of our first-timers, the reason that eTranzact is the company of the week is the fact that eTranzact allowed its right issue to close on the 20th of August. And knowingly or unknowingly, the half year that was again due to have been published ordinarily in July, but because of the extension that extended it by 1 month, what eTranzact literally did was to wait for 10 days after the right issue will have closed, which also meant that stockbrokers will have remitted all the right funds to them. They came in with the half-year results ended June, and that half-year was showing a loss of 118 million. It's not unlikely that this may be coincidence, but the coincidence also meant that some investors, had they seen this result, would probably would have held back their funds. Again, a story for another day. But so far, the company will need to battle with how to improve its float, even in the last right issue, because currently it has less than 20% in terms of float, which means it's also in violation of the Nigerian Stock Exchange regulation. It's on that note that we want to especially thank you for being part of this program, but realizing that next week will be in the month of September. What we'll be sharing with you largely will be how well the month of August had performed. Don't forget, we're already looking at a situation where August may be achieving the first positive finish in 8 years, and the second positive finish in 12 years. And we probably will be looking at again as to how well the month of September may also come in terms of finish. It's on that note that we want to especially thank you for being part of this program, especially for the young ones who have also sent in messages as to their observation and areas of interest. We can assure you that it's a task that we all will achieve. It's also on that note we want to especially thank you, and we'll see you next week, God willing. Good night and God bless.
Our customers are focused, versatile, superheroes. Our customers are also the most important people in our world. So we listen, partner, and give solutions that make a difference in their world. At First Bank, we will always put you first.
You first. First Bank.